Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com. And so I have another book review for you today. This one is actually another one of those super bonus book reviews, right? Where you're actually getting something better than a book, which is, I use Audible. I listen to audio CDs, and I've told you about this before. You've seen probably, if you check out my playlist of book reviews, you can see that I did some reviews on some great courses, which is a hell of a deal. But also, what is a great deal on Audible is to get seminars, like audio tape programs from, Nightingale Koenig, I think is the company, Nightingale something. Anyway, these are good deals because normally these things might go for like $50, $100, but you can get them for one Audible credit that's worth like $11 or $12. So I like to do that. And in this case, I got an old time, going back old school to one of the very first and famous personal development coaches, or personal self-development, self-help gurus, right, if you will, Jim Rohn, right? Jim Rohn you hear a lot of quotes that are misattributed, and almost every quote belongs to Jim Rohn if you trace it back far enough, right? He's come up with a lot of really good ideas, a lot of really strong stuff in personal development. I believe I was listening to Tony Robbins talk, and Tony Robbins was saying that the very first seminar that he ever went to, he scraped the money together to go to, was a Jim Rohn one, and that changed his life, right? That he put together money and he went, and that made a huge difference in his life. So Jim Rohn was sort of a mentor to Tony Robbins. So it's always good to go back to the source. I have a huge amount of respect for Tony Robbins. I'm going to be going to Unleash the Power Within. I've already got a date with Destiny, and that was awesome. I'll be going to Unleash the Power Within in November 2016 in San Jose here. Just bought my tickets today, actually. Good. If you haven't been to like a seminar like this, totally recommend it. I'm actually thinking about doing one, a simple programmer one. I'd like to do like a one-day event here in San Diego and have a bunch of people come in, and we'll do some really cool stuff and work on ourselves, and I think I've got some ideas, and I don't want to. I've always got all these ideas. Sometimes I'm like, man, I just keep on telling you guys all this stuff on YouTube videos, and then you're like, when are you gonna do it? And I'm like, well, I'm working on it. It's coming out, but I'm working on a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff cooking right now. It's creation time. But let's talk about this. So the audio program that I got and I listen to is called The Power of Ambition, and it is really, really good. It is sort of a classic. It's nothing that if you've listened to a lot of personal development stuff, it's not going to be anything new. But it was the oldest stuff, right? It was where a lot of this stuff originated from. And so, for some reason, the way that Jim Rohn phrases some of the things, it really is very sticky, very catchy, makes a lot of sense. He talks about kind of. He basically, it's called The Power of Ambition, but really it's about all areas of your life, right? He talks about, the idea of what having ambition means, and being enterprising, and what that means to see opportunity in places, and to be willing to work, to be willing to do the work, to be willing to develop yourself, and to invest in yourself, to manage your finances correctly. He talks about the importance of health and self-care, and he gives you productivity strategies, right? And he tells you to figure out your own stuff, and not to just listen to what someone tells you. Really good, set of a really good seminar, right? A really good, I guess it's not a seminar, what is it? It's a really good audio program. That's what they used to call those things. Back then, before we had video programs, we got audio programs. So it's a really good audio program. Again, totally worth it, especially if you can get an Audible credit to listen to it, because these are like timeless principles. And sometimes people say, John, well, why do you listen to this stuff if you already kind of have gone over it? It's because can you really go over this enough? Could you really absorb this kind of encouragement enough, right? It's like, well, why do you eat? You ate yesterday, dude. Why are you going to eat today? Well, because I'm hungry today, right? And it's the same thing. It's like, yeah, I already know, about self-development. I already know about productivity. I already know about fitness and finance and in some of these business stuff and the psychology, but I need to be reminded, but I need to be remotivated again. I need to be coached again, constantly pushing me forward so that not only do I grasp these ideas better, but I remember them, and it reinvigorates me to like, oh yeah, I should really be practicing this principle until these things get driven so deep into me that they become your nature. And if you want to transform in that way, you got to keep on putting this stuff in your head. You got to keep on listening. You got to keep on, and then pretty soon you will become that. You'll start acting unconsciously in the way, right? It'll just come out of you, right? I didn't get to the place where I am right now just by wishing, right? It was a lot of it integrating, right? Me listening to this stuff, reading this stuff, putting this stuff into practice, and then, and I've still got a long way to go. So I'm going to keep on listening. So I highly recommend this one. It's called The Power of Ambition. It's by Jim Rohn. Definitely worth it, right? I would tell you if I didn't think it had value, but I certainly think that this one has value. And again, Jim Rohn, pretty much anything from Jim Rohn is going to be good, just because he was kind of one of the big influencers in this space. He influenced a lot of really good personal development type of gurus, like I said, including Tony Robbins. So I would definitely check out his stuff, and I think you'll like it. So anyway, if you have an idea also for a book for me to read that you think would be good, you know what kind of books I read, if you think that you'd like to see me do a review on one, leave a comment below, let me know, and I will probably add it to my list. I always keep an Amazon list of all the books that I'm, again, like I said, I go through like 2 or 3 a week now since I'm running so much. But yeah, so if you like this review, go ahead and click that subscribe button, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.